Wrestling with the Past, hosted by Jason Nupp. Join Jason as he reviews classic wrestling footage from the golden era of the WWF, when our biggest childhood fear was anyone from the dreaded Heenan family capturing the precious World Wrestling Federation gold from our red and yellow savior, Hulk Hogan. There were Rowdy Pipers, Snookas who superflied, animals with green tongues, Russian Volkovs, Sheiks of Iron, a demolition that could axe and smash things to bits. It was a glorious time to be alive. It was a time to rock and wrestle, when a video coliseum fulfilled our childhood world with excitement and wonder. And now, the host of Wrestling with the Past, give it up, give it up, give it up for Mr. Jason Nupp.
All right, guys, moving right along, our next match is a very repeated match. I don't know if these two just worked well together, or, I mean, I don't know how well you can work in a 2-minute TV match. But I've also seen this match on house shows, too. It's Don Morocco, still Intercontinental Champion Don Morocco, not led towards the ring by Captain Lou. He's on his own here. He's taking on S.D. Jones. And, again, that match I've seen probably 4 or 5 times. Probably once on a house show, and multiple times on TV throughout 1983. So as we jump into 1984, they go with Old Faithful Don Morocco, Intercontinental Champion, taking on S.D. Jones, probably the best enhancement worker in the WWF at the time. All right, great match between the two, as expected. Don Morocco is probably my top 3 favorite bad guys of all time. Intercontinental title was good enough for him, I suppose. I still think he probably should have been WWF champion at some point, but I can't figure out how or when, right? I mean, I don't think he should have been the Iron Sheik, right? So I don't think he should have beaten Bob Backlund and then lost to Hogan 3 weeks later. I do think he should have beaten Bob Backlund somewhere around 82 and early 83. And then maybe trade it back and forth with Backlund until Backlund loses to Sheik. And then give Hogan some really close matches in early, 84. I think Morocco would have been a great WWF champion, a great heel champion. Here we've got a longer television match. So this week's episode has 2 longer matches, resulting in less matches. So we've got the opening match, the opening main event of Hogan and Backlund against Fuji and Tiger Chung Lee. That went about 5-6 minutes. And Morocco and SD went 5-6 minutes, both trading back and forth. Very close battle. Great match. I hate to see matches like this on Championship Wrestling because I don't want them to get 5 minutes. I want them to get 15 minutes at Madison Square Garden. But good match for TV in the TV time that they have. So Morocco obviously defending the Intercontinental title over S.D. Jones. Jones is wearing his LJN outfit with the red trunks and the blue boots. So that was cool to see. And we'll see what's next. Let's move on to the next matchup. All right, so the next matchup we have the rare, very rare, enhancement versus enhancement worker. We have Jose Luis Rivera taking on Tony Colon. And Tony Colon was constantly on TV in 1983. He was probably one of their 8 main enhancement workers that would be on TV. And obviously he'd wrestle 3 or 4 weeks in a row as they taped 3 or 4 shows at a TV taping. So you'd always see Tony Colon. Jose Luis Rivera came in 83, but for some reason was being called Mac Rivera. And I don't know, when they went when they started going national, Vince McMahon changed his name to Jose Luis Rivera, which I think might be his real name. I don't know. Joe McHugh is still our ring announcer, like I mentioned earlier, and it's just not. I can't wait for Howard Finkel. Joe McHugh has no no style, right? He's just got that same just old man voice. And he introduces Rivera as Jose Luis Rivera. And I'm just used to Howard Finkel's Jose Luis Rivera. Joe McHugh is on his way out. So here we go, I guess. What do you want? They gave you Hogan and Backlund versus Fuji and Lee, and they gave you Don Morocco versus SD Jones on, Saturday morning championship wrestling. So, of course, they're going to give you Jose Luis Rivera against Tony Colon. Let's see what happens. Okay, guys, I'm not going to do this a lot because it's risky, but I had to show you. This sets the tone for the match. Okay, Jose Luis Rivera is a decent hand, as they say. He's not a bad performer in the ring at all. In fact, he went on to be one of the conquistadors and had some talent. But I think this is pretty early in his career, and Tony Colon is just Tony Colon. And these two have an awful match. I mean, it's a botchy match. It's an uncomfortable looking match. Nobody knows how to, obviously nobody's trying to work the crowd. Nobody's the bad guy. Nobody's the good guy. It's just kind of a match. But I wanted to show you this move real quick. This is kind of what sets the stage for the match. This is the opening sequence. Check it out. We've got Tony Colon going for the right hand and then falling over the top rope. So we know where this match is headed. I'm going to watch the rest of it. I saw this match when I started watching January '84, about 4 or 5 weeks ago, before I decided to share it with you guys. So I've seen this card. The next card is 121, and then there's a 121 Philly show, and then from there on out I haven't seen. So we're going to be watching it for the first time together. But this I saw, and I forgot, because I just watched it back. I forgot. Jose Luis Rivera wins with the airplane spin. However, he attempts the airplane spin 4 times. My fingers are filthy. I was just working outside. I promise I don't usually have dirty fingers. Jose Luis Rivera tries to get Tony Colon, who probably weighs about 230 pounds. No big deal, right? Tries to get Tony Colon up for the airplane spin 3 times in a row and keeps dropping him or keeps fumbling. And they just reset it. They just stop awkwardly, and he goes for it again. And Tony Colon is a willing participant, jumping up on the shoulders each time of Rivera before Rivera finally pulls the move off. Horrible. And in today's crowd, they would have just crapped all over it, and probably would have gotten edited out of the show. Well, obviously would have gotten edited out of the show. But here, McMahon is just like, Rivera struggling, and so Jose Luis Rivera wins it with the 4th attempt at an airplane spin. Let's see what's next. All right, guys, that's it. What do you want? A show that started with Hogan and Backlund teaming up, ends with Jose Luis Rivera botching an airplane spin 3 times, 4 times against Tony Colon. That's how the show goes off the air. They plug next week's show, of course, not announcing a featured match, but next week's show is coming nonetheless. So we will conclude this episode, and we will watch January 21st, 1984 together in the next coming days. And I'm going to film it entirely and then cut the episode in half and give you 2 23-minute episodes. And then we've got a house show. We've got the Philly Spectrum. I think it's January 21st as well. So for a wrestling fan, you get championship wrestling in the daytime. You get the Philly show in the nighttime. And that is a special show. It's like I've said before, the Iron Sheik's only big name title defense against Tito Santana in the Spectrum. Very interesting. I won't spoil anything, but what's cool to see is that every house show, the ring announcer around mid-card would announce next month's show and run down some of the matches. But there is when they're announcing the February Philly show, there is a return bout signed between Iron Sheik and Tito Santana for the world title. So I found that to be pretty cool that they were already planning, Tito's or Iron Sheik's next title defense, certainly after he loses the title. So that was neat. All right, so that wraps up Wrestling with the Past. We'll do it again in another couple days. Hope you're enjoying the format. And PACW will be here this weekend. Ricky Steamboat versus Iron Sheik, closing out the PACW first round. Good night now.